I don't think people really understand the amount of impact that he's had on me as a player and as a leader.
Humbling. It's humbling that the greatest basketball player that would take time out of his day to come watch us play. So, I think I've been thinking about it lately, and what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna change my number next year. I think no guy in the NBA should ever wear 23. I think he can't get the NBA logo. Much respect to Jerry West. So I think his number shouldn't be worn by any player in the NBA. So I'm thinking about just changing my number next year, just to show the tribute that what he did for this game, the pioneer, everybody. He laid down the stepping stones for everybody to come up through the ranks, and I'm gonna change my number next year because that's how much respect I got for a guy like that.
What number will you wear next year?
Probably 6, my Olympic number.
And I truly hate having discussions about who would win one-on-one, and you're a fan saying, hey, Kobe, you beat Michael one-on-one. I feel like, yo, what you get from me is from him. I don't get 5 championships here without him, because he guided me so much and gave me so much great advice.
He saw something in me that reminded him a lot of himself when he was coming up. And he took me under his wing a lot and showed me a lot of things, taught me a lot of things, a lot of leadership things.
Kobe Bryant passes the great Michael Jordan and moves into 3rd on the NBA's all-time scoring list.
So when I passed him up, I remember talking to him afterwards and saying, this is kind of, it's like he's still here. The information and the stuff that he's passed on to me, I'm breathing that spirit back into the game all over again.
I'd love to play against Magic Johnson, but now he's retired. And Michael Jordan is somebody that I've always looked up to, and I want to play against him. It was the ultimate challenge, going out there and playing against the Bulls, guard Michael Jordan. Nothing can top that.
How flattering is it when Michael Jordan says he sees some of him in you?
Well, that's cool. It's a great compliment. I just have to continue to work hard, be the best basketball player that I can possibly be. It's going to be a great challenge. He's one of the greatest players of all time.
Made a switch already, putting Kobe on Michael.
Well, he's now in a postgraduate course.
Being compared to Michael is a great honor, but at the same time, I have to separate that for the simple fact that he's accomplished what he's accomplished through hard work. Understand that. Michael's a great basketball player, but I'm Kobe Bryant.
Against him for the first time at the United Center, and I got thrown into the fire. He made a nice baseline spin move on me. I knew it was coming. He was just so strong. By the time I tried to body him off of it, he just swatted me away like a fly. Getting schooled for a baseline dunk the first time I matched up with him, that was like the coolest thing. It was, because I'd seen that spin move so many times, and then I knew he was going to do it. But the timing on TV and then in person are 2 completely different things. So he just spun right before I thought he was going to spin, and I was like, man, that was pretty cool. When I came to the league and matching up against him, what I found that he was extremely open to having a relationship, a mentor relationship, and giving me a great amount of advice and an amazing amount of detail, strategies, workout regimens, and things like that. So, seriously, I don't think people really understand the amount of impact that he's had on me as a player and as a leader.
So, I tell you, when I was in high school, when I was 18, I think he saw that level of respect, because I think he was the same way at 18 years old. And that common bond is what I think, where our connection was built.
I learned a lot this game. A lot about how technically sound Michael was. Because it's one thing in watching him play, and then it's another thing in playing against him. His technique was flawless. I wanted to make sure my technique was just as flawless.
Been down at half court, and you wanted to know how, when I turn around on my jump shot, how to feel the defense. I told him you should feel the defense with your legs. Once you feel the defense with your legs, you can take advantage of that.
That was very inspiring for me.
People have been talking about comparisons with Michael Jordan for years, but more now than ever.
Why? Let it go.
Can I just ask a question? Can I just ask a question?
Jeez.
3 titles, could be a 4th in a matter of weeks. League MVP, could be Finals MVP. And by the way, if you go and win the gold this summer, only one other person has done all of those things in one season, which is Michael Jordan. How you gonna get mad at that comparison?
I'm not mad at it. You're talking about the greatest that ever played the game.
Okay.
Come on. Just let me do me.
Right.
Just let me do me.
But does not Kobe want to be the greatest?
Yeah, I want to be compared with Michael Jordan.
But don't you want to be the greatest?
I want to be the best I can be. You understand what I'm saying? Like, Michael is Michael. And I've learned so much from him, and he and I always talk. I could pick up the phone and call him, and he's always there for me. And, but you gotta let me be me. You know, we're different people.
Who's on your short list of best competitors you've faced?
Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson are the two that come to mind immediately because they were relentless. Now Michael, his relentlessness was amazing, and Scotty's as well, both ends of the floor. And then, you know, in my generation, AI was much the same. I mean, from opening tip to the end, I mean, this guy was just going and going and going, and he'd always put you in jeopardy. So those two guys are the most competitive I faced.
Big shot, the guy falling down, not being able to get to him.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. Does he give you advice?
Yeah, he does actually. Yeah.
Good advice?
Great advice. I mean, I'll never ever say that. I mean, him and Magic and those guys, and you know, Michael in particular, has really given me phenomenal advice in how to take a team, particularly with the personalities that that we have, and how to better communicate with your teammates, how to better elevate your teammates.
What player in your career did you learn the most from?
Oh, Michael.
Michael.
For sure.
Even though you never played together?
For sure.
Wow.
I remember being a kid and going to games, expecting to see the players play. It never occurred to me at the time that they might be tired, might be sore, they might be sick. It never occurred to me. I just wanted to see them do what they do. I think about that. Doesn't matter if I'm sick. It doesn't matter if I have a sprained ankle. The kid that's sitting in there might be the next me sitting up there, watching and trying to get inspiration from that. Well, you know, Michael Jordan for me was always, you know, the person that inspired me the most, and you know, how he carried himself, how he handled things, and how he carried the athlete, the black athlete, not just in the United States of America, but became a global phenomenon, and saying, okay, a black athlete can reach the masses and inspire the masses.
Does he try to compete with you?
I don't know. I mean, the last time we had dinner, he was talking about, you know, my year in 1991 versus your peak year. I would have kicked your ass. And I said, Mike, come on now, listen. Enjoy the salad. Like, you know, we both know that's not going to happen.
When you and Michael go out to dinner, who picked up the check at the end of that meal?
Well, he does. He's big brother.
Oh, he does? Okay.
Big brother always picks it up.
Well, first of all, you know, I wear the number because of Mike. I think I fell in love with the game because of Mike, just seeing what he was able to accomplish. But I felt like Mike was so, you know, when you're growing up and you're seeing Michael Jordan, it's almost like a god. So I didn't never believe I could be Mike. So I started to focus myself on other players and other people around my neighborhood because I never thought that you could get to a point where Mike was. So I think that helped shape my game. And I think the biggest thing for me sitting here today after breaking the all-time scoring record in playoff history is that I did it just being me. I don't have to score the ball to make an impact in a basketball game. And that was my mindset. You know, when I started playing the game, I was like, if I'm not scoring the ball, how can I still make an impact on the game? And it's carried me all the way to this point now, and it's going to carry me for the rest of my career because scoring is not number one on my agenda.
Jason Lloyd, The Athletic, you've said multiple times now that growing up, you never thought you could reach Michael status. When did you realize you could?
I don't have I mean...
You're on the green if you're not.
I'm not a golfer. This guy right here to my left is, though, so he'll tell me what that means when we get on the bus.
He drove the green, I'll tell you that.
But you know what I mean. You're obviously in the discussion. Whether or not you, whatever. Like you said earlier, it's a barbershop debate, but you're in that discussion. When did you realize you could be?
I think, Jason, at the end of the day, for my name to come up in a discussion, with the greatest basketball player of all time, it's like wow. Like I said, I did pretty much everything that MJ did when I was a kid. I shot fadeaways before I should have. I wore a leg sleeve on my leg and folded it down so you saw the red part.
For no reason.
I wore black and red shoes with white socks. I wore short shorts so you could see my undershorts underneath. I didn't go bald like Mike, but I'm getting there. But I'm getting there. But it'd be post-career, though. That's the only thing I didn't do. But other than that, I did everything Mike did. I even wore a wristband on my forearm. You know, so I didn't do the hoop ring either. That was Mike. But I did everything Mike did, man. I wanted to be Mike. And so for my name to come up in any discussion with Michael Jordan, it's like, so it's just a wow factor. I don't really have nothing to say.
All right,
and I get the youth to feel like passing the ball is okay. Making the extra pass is okay. Drawing two defenders, and no matter if you win or lose and you make the right play, it's okay. And, you know, because like you said, scoring the ball is so heralded in our sport. And I want the fundamentals of the game to be as great as they can be. And if some kid or a group of kids from the West Coast to the East Coast to the Midwest to the South and everything in between all around the world can look at me and say, well, I made the extra pass because LeBron made the extra pass, or I got a chase down block and I didn't give up on the play because LeBron didn't give up. That would mean the world to me. And so we'll see what happens.